The ending of Alien, Earth Episode 5, In Space, No One, reveals the saboteur aboard the Maginot, a Weyland-Yutani research space vessel, who caused the disastrous crash into Portage's City on Earth. A prequel to the events of the premiere episode of Alien, Earth, Episode 5 blends sci-fi with detective mystery and gives a deep dive into how Morrow uncovered a conspiracy that led to the deaths of the entire Maginot crew. Following the events of Alien, Earth Episode 4, which reveals that Wendy, the first ever hybrid created by Boy Cavalier's company Prodigy, can communicate with xenomorphs, Episode 5 takes a break from the action on the research island of Neverland. The events that unfold throughout Alien, Earth Episode 5 will inform the remainder of the brilliant Hulu series, which is already being called a sci-fi masterpiece. Alien, Earth Episode 5, which is titled based on the tagline of the original 1979 movie, In Space, No One Can Hear You Scream, also reveals that, despite being a cyborg, Morrow was once a father. Sadly, Morrow learned during the 8th year of the Maginot's voyage that his daughter had passed away in a house fire at the age of 19. This key backstory detail explains why Morrow has put everything into his mission of returning the specimens to Yutani, no matter the cost. Chief Engineer Petrovich made a deal with Boy Cavalier to crash the Maginot into Prodigy City. Alien Earth Episode 5_7. Courtesy of FX. Although Morrow initially suspected Rahim and the robot Ting of being saboteurs aboard the Maginot, the true conspirator is proven to be the chief engineer, Petrovich. Although it wasn't his intention to release the alien specimens, since he would be prey just like the rest of the crew, the fire and explosion he set off released 2 xenomorphs. The other aliens that escaped, however, did so using their own intelligence and deceptive survival skills. Ting told Morrow that just because the mother computer says a cryopod is full, that doesn't mean that it is all the time. This means that Petrovich was pretending to be in cryo-sleep and had left his pod and had somehow hacked the computer to remain undetected. Petrovich hid inside the mechanical areas of the ship, started the fire, and set off the explosion. It appears the Ting withheld this information and knew about the saboteur but chose to keep quiet. Petrovich blew a hole in the Maginot after setting fire to the ship's engine controls. As Atomites put it, these setbacks have turned the Maginot from a space vessel to a missile and ultimately an arrow targeted at Earth, since they have lost all navigational control. Morrow discovers that this is exactly what Petrovich had intended, staging the crash landing with Boy Cavalier, who promised him a massive payday if the Maginot landed within Boy Cavalier's kingdom. Through a video call that was logged in the Maginot's digital records, Petrovich cut a deal with Boy Cavalier, who permitted him to crash the spaceship into Prodigy City, knowing it would kill thousands. Petrovich told Boy Cavalier about the alien specimens behind the backs of his Weyland-Yutani crew. Crashing the ship into Boy Cavalier's kingdom was the only way to ensure that the specimens would fall within his territory. Petrovich has expressed his frustrations with the crew, the mission, and the red tape as a Weyland-Yutani employee to Boy Cavalier, which fell on deaf ears. He was mainly incentivized by the fortune he would acquire by sabotaging the Maginot's mission and bringing it onto Prodigy's turf. Petrovich also wanted a new body, apparently hearing somehow about Prodigy's hybrid innovation that gave birth to Wendy and the other lost boys. Ultimately, Petrovich's betrayal led to no avail, as Morrow kills him toward the end of Alien, Earth Episode 5. His final words, "You can't stop it. They want their monsters," are vague to Morrow, who doesn't understand the whole plot yet, but clearly refer to the Maginot, Boy Cavalier, and Yutani. Morrow didn't save Captain Zaveri after an epic xenomorph chase for one key reason. Alien Earth Episode 5_6. Courtesy of FX. Alien, Earth Episode 5 delivers the most epic and classic xenomorph chase scene of the series so far. With most of the crew dead, a disturbed Captain Zaveri snaps into her own survival mode and flees from a fully-grown xenomorph, only to end up getting killed by it as seen in the first episode. After an epic battle between a xenomorph and the eyeball specimen, Zaveri's tragic death scene from Episode 1 is played again. As she knocks on the door to a security pod, Morrow does not let her in. He actually seals the door shut, buying himself some time to brace himself for the Maginot's impact into Earth, knowing that all he could do was hold on for dear life. Even though Morrow is humanized like never before in Alien, Earth Episode 5, his decision to use Zaveri as bait for the xenomorph was calculated and cold-blooded. His mission was to preserve and contain the specimens, not look out for the other crew members. While Morrow may not have wanted to leave Zaveri behind, it was his duty as the Maginot security officer to do so. Regardless, there was only enough space in the impact room for one of them, so trying to save Zaveri would have been pointless.